Welcome back to Roll for Coffee, where we let the dice and our little chip friend decide our coffee. We have a fascinating episode today, so make sure to buckle up and let's get into it. First up, we gotta decide if it's gonna be hot or iced. That is our little chip friend. It's gonna be hot. Since it's gonna be hot, we're gonna be using a nice double-walled glass. Next up, let's figure out our coffee style. That is an 8, a cortado. Since we're making a cortado, we're going to be using Kai coffee from Hawaii, an espresso blend. It's a little stronger, and I haven't had this one yet. Very excited to try it. Next up, let's figure out our brewing method. That's a 9. We're going to be making this in the mocha pot. So let's get that mocha pot out, and let's make a quick one. Now let's pour our coffee into our cup and move on to our milk. That's a 10. We are going to be using flax milk and protein by Good Karma. We've seen this one before, but how does it steam? I'm excited to see how this flax milk is going to hold its froth. I hope it acts more like a lactose-based milk and not so much like a almond milk or oat milk. Let's pour that milk in there. Next up, let's figure out our flavor. 14. That is going to be peppermint. We are going to be using Torani sugar-free peppermint syrup today. And we're going to be putting about half an ounce into our drink. Next up, let's figure out our wild magic. That's a 2. Greek yogurt, which is going to be Chobani, non-fat, plain Greek yogurt. I love Chobani. It's good in almost any respect, and I really love it on tacos. Wonder how it's going to be in this coffee. And we also have a 5, which is going to be cherry syrup. We're going to be using Luxardo maraschino cherries. So we're going to be using the cherry syrup from these cherries, and we're going to get a nice teaspoon right into the drink. And look at that, we got a nice little addition, a cherry to top it all off. Well, cherry to bottom it all off. Next up, let's figure out our toppings. That's a 12, chocolate syrup. Our syrup is going to be dark chocolate syrup by Torani. Let's put a nice swirl on top of our cortado and give it a little try.
I have mixed feelings so far. Nothing about this sounds too far-fetched, to be honest with you. The only thing making this a little bit strange is that Greek yogurt in there. But as we've seen before, Greek yogurt doesn't really mess with the coffee all that much, so I'm excited to see how this one tastes. We're gonna call this a short little treat. Cheers. Whew! Minty. So it's not the worst. The flax milk, it does lose a lot of its volume and froth as opposed to a dairy milk. The flax milk's very similar to an almond milk in that it loses its froth very easily. It seems that this one is closer to a latte than a cortado, as a cortado is evenly coffee and milk, and I tried to get the ratio pretty close. The coffee does come through. I do enjoy that coconut flavor and that nuttiness of that Hawaiian coffee that's in here. Very pleasant. The chocolate and peppermint and cherry do work together. The thing about that peppermint is it is a little too much, especially with the sourness of that Greek yogurt. It kind of just gets a little too intense for me and makes it a little bit off. I really just want the cherry in the bottom because that's truthfully what we're all here for. Personally, not my favorite. That peppermint's just really up front and just a little unpleasant. Overall, I probably wouldn't recommend this one. Probably going to give this one a lower rating, like a 3.5 out of 10. Not my favorite. I do like the flax milk and I like everything else going on there. Be interested to see how the flax milk works with maybe a cereal or something else. Or maybe just a regular latte. I don't know. Maybe the dice will let us find that out next time. But until then, join us next time for Roll for Coffee. And don't forget to join us on October 5th for our 24-hour live stream. It's going to be on all the platforms. If you find us, you'll be part of it. And all contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network. So make sure to tune in and possibly donate if you can.
Get your snacks and grab your friends. We're streaming games where the fun never ends. October 5th, it's time to play. For the kids, we're raising funds today.